jury selection in the Alex Murdaugh trial.
Jury screening continued in the morning today in the trial against Murdaugh. Many jurors were dismissed for already admitting to the judge that they have formed an opinion on the case and wouldn't be able to be fair. And then pre-trial motions began after they broke for lunch.
We have team coverage from Colleton County with Sam Perez talking with people in that area. But we're going to start with News 19's Rachel Ripp, who has the details on today's proceedings.
Andrea Darcy, that's right. Now, court just ended. That was about 15 minutes ago with pre-trial motions. One of the big findings there, the court decided that the ballistics evidence is going to be admissible in the trial. Now, all of that was underway at about 2:45 this afternoon. That's when everything took place. Now, prior to that, there was a lot of movement in the room. There was movement with both teams, with the prosecution and the defense, talking with one another, talking in circles outside of one another. And there was also some activity pre-trial, or rather before that pre-trial motions hearing, where Lynn Murdaugh showed up. That is Alex Murdaugh's sister. Now, as soon as she came into the room, Alex actually smiled. He came over to try and greet her at the bench. He reached hands over to shake her hand, and he was trying to show that he appreciated that support from her. Now, at the start of that motions hearing, it was very apparent that Alex was calm and collected. This afternoon, attorneys, journalists, expert witnesses, and family gathered in the Colleton County Courthouse to hear rulings on pre-trial motions for the Alex Murdaugh murder case, the first being that of the blood spatter evidence, something both prosecutors and defense attorneys came to a compromise on.
There are a number of motions that the defense has filed as it relates to a particular blood spatter expert, that being Tom Bevel. In conversations with the defense, we have agreed at this time that that will not be discussed in opening or before the jury. And of course, we will alert the court when that testimony is approaching and have an appropriate in-camera hearing at that time.
As for the mention of a boating death case involving Alex's deceased son, Paul, one of the victims in this case, this was an item prosecution and defense attorneys wanted deciding on by the judge. Something Judge Clifton Newman said he would have to decide on during the presentation of evidence during the trial. Attorney Dick Harpootlian with the defense team said this evidence was only requested to be allowed by the prosecution to paint Alex in a bad light.
There's not one shred of evidence there was any problems between any of them. There's texts, pictures, people that were with him the previous weekend at a ball game, video from that day with Paul and he having a good time. There is no dispute anywhere that they were the perfect family in terms of their relationships. No divorce, no separated, no left him, no nothing. So this is a fabrication, and they want to use what Mr. Griffin described as bad character evidence.
Another topic discussed in the courtroom, the gun evidence. Creighton Waters and the prosecution team put Paul Greer, a SLED employee who conducted gun tests in the case, on the stand for questioning and cross-examination.
Our casework at SLED is 100% micro-verified, and that means that another qualified examiner will look at the evidence, arrive at their conclusions, and agree or disagree with me.
He says there are matching mechanism marks on gun cartridge cases at the scene of this crime that indicate at some point they had been in the same chamber and gun. Defense attorneys, though, challenge those conclusions. Now, like I said, that court that just wrapped up here, it was 15 minutes ago that they ended that, and they will be in recess now until 11 tomorrow morning. Reporting live in Walterboro, Rachel Ripp, News 19, WLTX.
All right, Rachel, thank you so much.